Yeah. What's up? Earl Skakel in the house. It's a little late for me, but probably a little early for you. So this won't be a terribly long stream. But, I just thought I'd check in with the late night freaks. But I realize that for most of you, it is in the AM. I get a lot of East Coasters in the house. So I hope you guys are probably just getting up. I hope you have a good day. Here's what I look like without my spectacles. Start the stream off on a sad note. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. Probably my favorite actor, along with John Glover. I mean, really was good in anything. So it's kind of weird how he died, too. They found him deceased with his wife and dog. So it's looking like Payne Stewart style carbon monoxide poisoning, which is too bad, And it's even sadder that I'm more sad about the dog. So rest in peace to one of the GOATs. Definitely one of the best actors of my generation and probably the generation before me. What up, John? John in the house. So rest in peace, Gene Hackman, his wife, and his dog. So now I have to worry every night when I go to sleep, me and Lois could be taken out. Katerina Du Couteau. What up? Well, that's nice of you to say, Sammy. I mean, I've never heard of that before, but I'll assume it's carbon monoxide. I don't think Gene Hackman would go out as a dog killer. It is strange, though. But, he was 95. I mean, his wife was 63, and I'm not sure how old the dog was. I mean, you can really never tell how old a dog is. But just sad. Bert Berkins has not been seen since he donated $300. That's Richard Gere, Justin. That's Richard Gere. I don't know why he did it, Justin C. It's a little too early for questions like that, Justin. So, what up, bro? We got some OGs in the stream. He in the wild. I mean, I don't know if I believe that. I mean, he was 95. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, people are still trying to figure out the Chris Benoit thing. But I'm a sucker. I think everything happens like we've been told, so who knows? I can't imagine the wife killing herself. I mean, she was set to get his cash. What up, Riley? I mean, I make pretty good living with my residuals from all the shit I've been on. I can only imagine what Gene Hackman makes or made. I mean, I personally think Benoit, no offense, Justin, but I'm not going to be stealing someone's jokes from a live stream. And if you think I remember one joke you did, 3 days ago, come on, bro. Yeah, a lot of people think that about Kevin Sullivan. Lois is doing pretty good. What up, geese? She hasn't been coughing that much lately, so but I just took her for a very long walk, and she's sleeping right now, as I will be sooner than later. It is 5 a.m. Um, that's not true. I've talked about Chris Benoit plenty of times on this stream. You're new to the stream, baby doll. No, I'm good. When your name's on the wall at the Comedy Store, John, then you could write me jokes. Um, yeah, I'll get some rest later. A Magical Mo, what a scam that was. And Magical Mo is deceased. And Chandler had donated a lot of money. I tried it, I reached out to Mayton, but well, thank you, Katerina. I'm not going to beg to do some guy's podcast. I reached out to him, so. But that's also one of those ones where if people reach out to him and go, hey, have this guy on. But I will tell you, it would not end well for him if he tried to roast me. I ain't David Lucas. What up, Kimberly? I mean, I can't say I brought it up 2 days ago at 20 minutes in. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've always had I made up someone maybe about a month ago asked me if I thought he did it. I'm like, where was the kid's tag team partner? So, if you don't believe me, you don't believe me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, there's nothing. I can't read the chat without my glasses on, so sorry about that. I know it's a pain in the ass. Let me see if I can. I mean, that's a little better. Not much, but it's a little better. So, I mean, John, I'm a monstrous wrestling fan, so. No, they definitely don't come like this. Yes, hit the like and subscribe button for you newbies in the stream. It helps Daddy Earl crack the YouTube algorithm. Ric Flair's the real deal. I mean, when I met him at the Ric Flair roast, I met him at 2 p.m. He had 2 drinks in his hand, and when I said goodnight to him about 2 a.m. at Kid Rock's bar Tootsie's, he had 2 drinks in his hand. So he goes hard in the paint. I was more NWO, WCW, so. I mean, old school wrestling, the 80s, Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, Tully Blanchard, shit like that. It's just better when there was no internet because then you really thought the shit was real. What up, Johnny? I mean, I've tried writing partners. It's hard to explain what goes on in my head, so I like working alone. But, some people. Yeah, I met Magnum TA at the Ric Flair roast, and man, I got to be honest with you, I was walking by him, and he's still a pretty big dude. He wasn't in a wheelchair, but it was like an assisted walking chair, I guess you'd call it. And I walked by him, and I'm like, "Fuck, I know this guy." And then I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's Magnum TA." And I took a picture with him, and he was awesome, man. I don't have a Bert Kreischer joke. Um, I mean, I've spoken with Bert a few times. We're friends, I guess you'd say, but I don't have a Bert Kreischer joke per se. Although I will say I was taking off my shirt long before Bert was. Well, I mean, back then in the 60s and 70s, you really thought the shit was real. And then, I guess slowly in the early 80s, it was kind of leaking that, hey, the matches are predetermined. But then, if you watch wrestling in some territories, like Mid-South and Florida, they wrestled pretty stiff. But um, yes, I am a comedian. I don't know why you would say what the fuck after that, but the trolls are up early this morning, I see. And this stream isn't very funny, admittedly, but I'm not sitting here doing jokes. I'm not going to do jokes and hear nothing. Oh, okay, that's cool. Listen, I've said this about Bert. You don't sell out arenas and, you know, are not funny. Well, Kia, your mom didn't seem to think so. Here we go with the gay stuff. I mean, I don't understand you guys who go into another person's stream and start with the gay stuff. I don't understand the N-word towers. I don't understand what was it, the McRib questions? Like you guys are out of control out there. Um well, I mean, I thank you, Saint Ranger, and I think they're no, I'm naturally funny. Um and it's just a gift, I guess. I love this turquoise hoodie though. I don't mind it at all. I don't know who Jamie is. Oh, I'm not worried about it at all. I mean, I disagree, Justin. You could sell out a comedy club, maybe. You could fool 200 people. You can't fool 20,000. Listen, am I Bert's biggest fan? No. But, like, when you sell out arenas, like, that's just on another level. And you can't be unfunny and sell out an arena. I understand you might not like his humor, but. Oh, yeah. I'm secure with my sexuality. I don't tell jokes like a monkey bouncing a ball on his nose. Like I said, this is not a joke stream. Well, man, diggity, you could be onto something there. Hey, Duke, have you been nuking anything lately? I don't know what that means. I'm not familiar with some of your guys' terms. I don't believe I've been nuking anything. But I'll let you know if I do. Duke Nukem. All right. Well, I'm not going to try and tell you who's funny and who's not. I find Bert funny. Am I saying he's the greatest comic of all time? I'm not. But if you don't think he's funny, then you don't think he's funny. There's people who don't think I'm funny. It's great. Well, my crowd is not that young, but I mean, to get into a comedy club, you have to be 21. So I would say he has a fan base that's over 21 for the most part. Um, Yo, Earl, I'm currently just understanding that you are famous. I mean, I'm not famous. If I was famous, I'd have more than 30 people in here. But, I've done more than most comics have, in terms of TV shows and whatnot. But, I'm always looking for the next one. I don't know what you mean by that, SK. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, you know how some movies can be so bad they're good? I guess you're asking me that. Yes, I'm very dry and sarcastic, so um, well, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Tim Dillon told me all you need, Earl, is 2,000 fans to make it in this business. Um, I mean, this is definitely an early stream. It's 5:11 in the AM for me, so I'm certainly not going to do too many of these streams at this hour. Um, I mean, I don't know why, you're so obsessed with Bert Kreischer being funny or not funny. I'm simply saying any comic, Bert included, doesn't play arenas and is not funny. Come on, man. That's just you're just hating on him, which is fine. You don't think he's funny. I get that. Like I said, comedy is very subjective. People love Anthony Jeselnik. People don't like Anthony Jeselnik. Um, well, I mean, Hackamania was kind of a shit show, to be honest with you. W Fig the 90, 4.99. Thank you very much, W Fig. Like I'll give you a perfect example. Thank you very much. There is a guy who's famous on TikTok, and he's trying to get into comedy now. And he had his show in the belly room at the Comedy Store, and there's maybe 50 to 75 people in there, and he didn't do very well. But my point is, he fooled about 50 to 75 people. You can fool that number of people. This guy could not fill an arena like Bert. So, well, it's like I said. I mean, I am of the opinion. Now, you have to understand, my opinion is that of a comic who's been doing stand up for 25 years. I've seen a lot of funny comics, and I've seen a lot of unfunny comics. I've seen more unfunny comics than I've seen funny. And look at the crowd. Watch any Bert Kreischer special, any Bert Kreischer show or tour or whatever. The crowd's loving it. So he is funny to those people. I don't know what else to tell you. Well, we don't talk about MAGA in here. I mean, Bert to me is like Kiss. But what does that mean? That's not. That's completely different. The analogy doesn't work. Here's an analogy that I think works with you, and well, I'm trying to give you an honest answer, but you want, yes, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. You want me to give an answer that fits your narrative, and that's not going to happen. But I think this might get you to think along my lines of thinking. Bert's like Kiss. Are Kiss the greatest musicians in the world? Nope. But they've had a longer career than most bands, 50-year career. You go to a Kiss concert, that fan base loves Kiss. The same thing with Bert. To that fan base, Bert's funny. Now, you're not his fan base, so you don't think he's funny. I don't like Bill Hicks. I don't like Louis C.K. They're not funny to me. That's all I can tell you, bro. He's engaging. He's a good storyteller. So, I mean, sorry. Listen, I get it. You don't think he's funny, and listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, but your analogy is the Cleveland Browns are a bad team, but yet they still have thousands of people. You don't like Bert. That's clear. I'm not even a huge fan of Bert's, but the Cleveland Browns don't sell out. And those people in the stands are football fans. And if they're playing the Steelers, 80% of the crowd is Pittsburgh fans. So you could flip it, take Bert out of the conversation. Matt Rife, there's another guy. He doesn't play arenas, but he plays theaters. He is funny to his fan base. Now that guy has 18-year-old fans. Well, I don't watch comedy, Justin. So, um, I you know, I don't want to watch comedy. I want to do it. I don't watch Netflix specials because I want one. Um, yeah, I mean, Kiss was I mean, I really think the Kiss and Bert analogy. Uh, I just told you I find him engaging and he's a good storyteller. You seem locked in on, you're not going to be satisfied until I say he sucks. You got me, Justin. I'm sorry, I don't think he sucks. You know, you don't have, multiple Netflix specials and aren't funny. So sorry, man. For the third fucking time, Justin, he's engaging and a good storyteller. That's funny to me. Jesus Christ, man, get over it. I appreciate you liking and subscribing, but Jesus, man. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't like a lot of comics. I said I see you're just trying to fit a narrative here, saying that I've never watched comedy. You gotta listen to what I say, bro. I don't like watching comedy because I want to do it. But I've been on shows with Bert at the Comedy Store, and I can tell you, as someone who was in the room, the crowd loved him. And this was not a Bert show. That's the true measuring stick to me. Maybe not to you, but to me. When you put a bunch of us at the Comedy Store, what up, corn diff? Um, and it's just a crowd there for a comedy show. They're not there for Bert because Bert's name wasn't on the marquee. They didn't even know he was going to be on the show. I'm on the show. Sarah Tiana's on the show. Kevin Christie's on the show. And I can tell you, out of all of us, Bert had the best set. Sorry, man. You know. Now you might say, "Well, I wasn't at that show. I don't believe you." But I got no reason to say Bert's funny. Bert's not funny. So I don't know what to tell you. Bert's over the top. He's bombastic. People love that. People want to forget about their miserable lives for 1 hour. Um, well, when the comedy club is sold out, you seem like you really have a fucking bone to pick with Bert. What I'm telling you was, I was in a room that were not Bert Kreischer fans, and Bert had the best set. I had a good set that night. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. Well, the example I gave of fooling a comedy club was for like the TikTok guy. He got 50 people up in the belly room because he sales pitched them however he did it, and he bombed. You know, that guy ain't playing arenas. Bert is. I find Bert engaging. He's a good storyteller, and he sells it on stage. You don't like him. It's cool. Like, you're making it seem like I'm some Bert super fan. Like, I'm not. Um, so, well, I mean, Justin, I've got no reason to say he's funny or he's not funny. I've seen him do well every time I've seen him. I've seen him go up in the main room. I've seen him go up in the original room. We were on Roast Battle together one night in the belly room. He did well there. I've never seen him bomb. So, what do you want me to say? You don't like him? Fine. I don't know any of Bert's jokes, to be honest. I'm not listening. When I'm in a room, like when he was on stage in the original room, I wasn't listening to his act. I'm talking to girls and shit. But I can tell you, I heard uproarious laughter from the crowd. And once again, this was not a Bert crowd. This was just a crowd who had paid on a Tuesday night to hear stand up. Yes, corn dip. There's 3 rooms at the Comedy Store: the original room, the belly room, and the main room. Now, it's rumored that the belly room was where the mob had abortions. Hmm. But we won't get into that on this stream. So I don't know who Suburban is, just to see. I am funnier than a Suburban GMC, that's for sure. Well, I don't know if I'd say abortions are hilarious, but you know, you know, I don't know. You got me speechless on that one, Gaboo. Well, I will agree with you. David Tell is funny. I disagree with you about Bert, but once again, I'm not telling you who you should think is funny. All good white streams. You can. I don't put out full sets on YouTube just because I got in trouble doing that. Um, so, um, I might start putting some of my full sets on Patreon because the Comedy Store tapes all the main room sets. So, let's see. So check my Patreon and, you know, probably in the next week or so, I might have a couple. I do have a full set on my Patreon you can check out. So then my Patreon is just patreon.com/Earl Skakel. The full set I do have up. I think you have to join to hear because it's 45 minutes. But, you know, and you can be the judge on if I'm funny or not. Other than that, you can check out my shorts. And that's about it. Oh, yeah, I love the German in Venice. I see that dude all the time. That guy's YouTube channel is doing big business. All right, Justin, I'm done talking to you about Bert. You don't like Bert, it's clear. That's fine. I said Bert is funny to his fan base. Like, just get over it, bro. I don't know if you're trolling me at this point, but I'm about to put you in timeout because it's getting old. And now I'm a supposed roast comic. So, just get it out there, man. What are you trying to say, Justin? It's just annoying, Justin. You've gone on for the last 10 minutes. You don't think Bert's funny. That's fine. What up, Ben? What up, Ben? I'm not upset at all. It's just I'm annoyed. You made your point. You don't think Bert is funny. What do you care if I think he's funny or not? You and I might have totally different taste levels. Let me ask you a question. Do you like hockey, Justin? What's your favorite sport? I'm talking to you. No, I don't want to give him a timeout, but you know, there's people who don't think I'm funny. Someone put on one of my videos the other day, this guy is as funny as cancer. I'm a paid regular at the #1 club in the world, so obviously I'm funny. I mean, I would guess that Gene Hackman, his wife, and the dog was carbon monoxide poisoning, probably along the lines of like Payne Stewart. You know, is this kind of I mean, I don't really count what people do on here as heckling. I mean, you know, like heckling. I don't do these. The streams, the trolls or whatever on the streams, or anyone. I can't. I'm better live myself. So, but you're not even roasting me, Justin. Well, Justin, if you don't like my lives, you can leave. You can unsubscribe and unlike. I don't really, you seem to think you have something over me dangling. But what does me being a supposed roast comic have to do with Bert Kreischer? Like, you're jumping now because I didn't give you the exact answer you wanted. Now it's like I'm a supposed roast comic. And he's funny to me. I know. Why is he funny? I've said it 7 times to you. Just by you calling him Bird, I mean, like, dude, you don't like him. That's fine. I'm not even telling you you're wrong. I'm just saying I've seen him do well in every room I've ever seen him play. At the Netflix festival, he fucking killed, bro. And the Netflix festival was big, big venues, man. And they weren't necessarily there to see one particular comedy. So, yeah, comedy is subjective. There's people who don't think Kevin Brennan's funny. I think Kevin Brennan's funny. Am I wrong? No. Am I right? No. I mean, everyone's different. I like shitty 80s metal. What up, Rusty Dog? I've never seen Neil Hamburgers. So, the Kevin Brennan business. You don't even like him. There's people who like action movies. There's people who don't. I had one of the hottest girls I know ask me to come over Sunday night to watch the Oscars. And as hot as this girl is, I just can't. Because I don't really like good movies. I'd rather watch a Schwarzenegger or Stallone film festival. Music is subjective. Any art is subjective. I showed my buddy, to me, the greatest heavyweight boxing fight of all time. Uh, so, well, now you don't like me as a comic. Well, then leave, bro. Like, I'm not forcing you to be in the stream. I have terrible crowd work. Oh, you're an idiot if you say that. Now you're just trolling. Get out. Well, it's easy to roast when, you wouldn't say any of this shit if we were in the same room together. And you know it. You're not even roasting me. You're just saying you have terrible crowd work. Anyone who says that about me is not being objective. Even though comedy is subjective, they're basic facts. And I'm one of the best crowd work comics in LA. It's Ian Bagg, it's Rick Ingram, and me. So I don't know why you're in here. You seem upset. And I don't respect anyone who roasts in a live stream. Come to the Comedy Store, bro. Heckle me live. We'll see who comes out on top. Well, I make a lot of money for someone who's not funny. I love hockey. Hockey's my favorite sport. Point is, some people hate hockey. Some people don't get it. I think hockey's the best sport on planet Earth. Yes, hit the like button. Hit the like button. But here's the point. I think the best heavyweight fight I've ever seen, best fight I've ever seen was um, Ron Lyle and George Foreman. I showed it to my friend. I said, dude, this is the greatest fight ever. It's just two huge heavyweights throwing bombs. And this guy's a boxing fan. He's like, dude, this isn't boxing. This is the worst fight I've ever seen. So to me, it was the best fight I've ever seen. To this guy, it was the worst fight he's ever seen. Who's wrong? Yeah, but look up the fight he had with Ron Lyle and George Foreman. Now, Ron Lyle had been in prison for 7 years for murder. And he came out of prison and he fought George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. And don't worry about it, Justin. Now it's like I'm lying about a hot girl. Okay. Jack Dempsey was a great fighter of his era. I don't know how well Jack Dempsey would do in the modern era of boxing. You know, it's like Satchel Paige was a great pitcher. I don't know how well Satchel Paige would do if you put a prime Satchel Paige in the major leagues today. Bryce Harper might hit a 700-foot home run off of him. So, I mean, Justin, you're more than welcome to come to the Comedy Store anytime. Anytime. No one ever takes me up on this. So, I don't even know what you look like, Justin. Like, it's easy for you to sit here and roast me because you know what I look like. You've probably seen a YouTube video of my comedy or whatever. I know nothing about you. So, you don't even put your own picture in your profile. So, you don't get how crowd work works, bro. You have to know what the person looks like, what you're wearing, what your hairstyle is, what your face looks like. You know, you don't understand comedy at all, bro. I mean, you just want attention, which is clear. I'm giving it to you, but like, you got to give me a little too. I don't know how old you are. I don't know where you live. I don't know what your job is. How am I supposed to do crowd work on you? I mean, but I don't know anything about you. I don't know. I just told you. Bro. You don't get it. You're just trolling now. So that's fine. I'm done talking to you. Subjective is two people having a different opinion on the same subject. Like I said, the Ron Lyle George Foreman fight. I thought it was the best fight I've ever seen. My friend, who's a boxing aficionado, but he's young, had never seen the fight before. He's like, this is just two huge dudes brawling. No problem. Dr. Death Steve Williams? No. Gotta be another Dr. Death. Dr. Death Steve Williams was a legit Oklahoma State wrestler. I never said I was the best roasting comic in LA. Open up your fucking ears. I said I was one of the best crowd work comics. And you don't understand how crowd work works. In a live stream, you're totally anonymous. You could lie to me right now and say you're 19. You could say you're 50. Come to the Comedy Store and I will roast you the whole set. You'll leave. Trust me on that one. You will leave with your tail between your legs. I mean, you're just talking shit now because you know you're a keyboard warrior. And you know what? You're out of here, Chief. Sorry, man. I've had enough, dude. Like, 30 fucking minutes the guy's manipulated manipulated the stream. He's done. How the hell am I supposed to do crowd work on any of you? Corn Diff, $9.99 for Lois. You're the fucking king, Corn Diff. And just because you did that, Corn Diff, everybody gets a shot at the queen. Yeah, I do get some losers in here. No, I love talking to the trolls. Like, I was having a conversation with him, and, like, I don't think he was getting that, you know, he doesn't think Bert's funny. That's great. Can you see my search history? Not really. I'm going to indie wrestling this Saturday night, GCW. Well, I don't mind, but it's like for literally 20 minutes he was saying Bert's not funny, Bert's not funny, Bert's not. Okay, you don't think Bert's funny? I do. I've seen him. I've never seen him bomb. I've seen him do well in all three rooms at the Comedy Store. I saw him kill at the Netflix Is a Joke Festival. You know, what am I supposed to do? I can only go off of what I've seen. Now, if he's talking about Brendan Schaub, then I might agree with him. So, but and then he said, then he started going in on my comedy. It's like, oh, you're just fucking being an idiot. So, I think I gave him a long rope. I just got sick of talking to him. You might be right on that. I do not have a girlfriend, unfortunately. We'll go another 15 minutes, guys, and then I'm going to sleep. And so is Lois. Thank you, Corn Diff, very much. Would you say that to Schaub's face? I wouldn't go up to him and go, hey, yo, motherfucker, I don't think you're funny. But if he asked me on his podcast and say, hey, what did you think of my special? I would be honest with him. No, I'm not big enough to be into pro wrestling. No, I only have 3 mods, and tonight I'm on my own. Why don't I have a girlfriend? I don't know, to be honest with you. No, but I mean, I would like, like I've done shows with Schaub. I mean, he didn't do very well on the show I was on him with at the Improv. But, I mean, would I walk up to him and just say it to his face? No, but if he was in the room and someone had, hey, what'd you think about his special? I'd be honest. See you later. I mean, I don't think he's a good podcaster. I think he's good if he has someone funny like Theo with him. So, no, thank you. That's $100 super chat, John, for me to be your stepdad. Sorry, I've got to have standards. The Costco guys, man, yeah, they were pretty good. I mean, I thought QT Marshall did a great job of carrying. What's his name? The Boom guy. I mean, QT Marshall made the match, and he even sold the little kid's spear. I thought that was pretty fucking funny, to be honest with you. I don't drink, Adam. Never had a drink in my life. Um, well, yeah, he can talk MMA because he did it. Like, but I think for him to be funny, he's got to have a funny co-host. Like me and him would be a good podcast team because I'd set him up. I'm really good at setting people up for home run lines. No, I only watch AEW. By the way, I will be going to AEW, the Revolution pay-per-view next Sunday. I can't wait. At the Comedy Store this Saturday. Last Saturday, I got to meet the great MVP. So that was very fun, very cool. It does suck to get old. I do not smoke. I'm straight edge. My only vice is Miami. Hello. Too many problems the world can't solve. Too many people, no one likes to be involved. Lack of communication, back off. I mean, Tony Khan is a mark, but I think it's getting better. I think the storytelling needs to be better. Um, I mean, it's not that hard to be sober. Yes, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. What happened to Philip Michael Thomas? If you listen to the very last episode, you can of Miami Vice. You can season 5, episode 26. You can hear Philip Michael Thomas fall off the face of the earth. Yeah, I'm not sure what Poseidon's politics are, but he's a very funny comic. Well, they need some. Now they don't need a better booker. They need a better writing. They need a better creative. That's what kills them. I mean, you build up Jack Perry, and now he's been off TV for a month. So what the fuck are you doing? You build up Wardlow 2 or 3 times, and you ruin that guy. And like Ricky Starks, you know, I don't know what happened with that, but thank you, Dingle. I think part of Ricky Stark's problem was after that promo he did with Edge, where Edge buried him, said you're nothing more than a vanilla rock, and really Starks didn't have a comeback for it. It's like, ooh man, he just buried him on live TV. I like Jack Perry. I think he's a great bad guy. But you build him up to be this great heel, and then he's off of TV for almost a month, maybe longer. So what are you doing? And then you bring in Camille, who's awesome. You bring her in as Mercedes valet. You kind of tease a turn on Mercedes, and then she's been off of TV for a month. I just don't get that. But I mean, in terms of like, now I think what happened in that promo got real. Like Starks called Edge something, and you could see Edge go, "Okay, you want to shoot? Let's go, baby." So I think that was a very interesting, kind of reminded me of Omega and Osprey when Omega and the Bucks came down and they welcomed Osprey to AEW, and then Osprey called Omega fat. And if there's anything you don't want to call someone who works out a lot, it's fat. And it got real. And then Omega's like, okay, you're going to call me fat? Well, guess what? I've done everything and more you have in New Japan. Um, James Hellwig, rest in peace, the ultimate warrior. I love me the war. 10 more minutes, guys. My body is starting to power down, but I will do 10 more minutes for you guys out of the love of the game. And I don't mean Triple H. See, Rusty Dog, please hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. Please. It helps me crack the algorithm, which is harder than I thought. See you later, Dingle. You too hit the like and subscribe button. The more the merrier in here. Uh-oh, message held for review. Let's do some coke and keep going, pussy. Thank you, Rusty Dog. I appreciate that. Let me guess. Guess what? You can guess anything you like in the next 9 minutes. After that, you'll have to go to another stream. I think Shuli is about to start streaming. What does the H in AAA? Hunter Hurst Helmsley is what the H's stand for. Scott Fitzpatrick, back in the groove. I'm back in the New York groove. How much for another hour? There's not enough money for another hour. I'm too tired. I listen to butt rock, Kiss, Poison, Cinderella, Rat, Vinnie Vincent Invasion, Slaughter, Firehouse, shit like that. Really, just the amount of rejection you get. I mean, I've been turned down by every manager, every agency, every comedy festival, and I just fucking kept going and going and going. And now, frankly, it's ageism. You know, there's horrible ageism in comedy, but I never really listened to MSG that much. Rockin' with Dawkin. I had to kick Don Dawkin out of Motorhead's dressing room once because Don Dawkin was drinking Lemmy's beer. And my ex-girlfriend, who manages Motorhead to this day, you know, even though the original guys are all dead, they still, you know, sell a lot of shit, T-shirts and CDs and whatnot. She's like, hey, can you go in there? Someone's stealing Lemmy's beer. And I go in there and it's Don Doc. I'm like, hey, bro, you got to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, well, Lemmy told me I could have some. I'm like, I know Lemmy. You know Lemmy. He didn't tell you that. Beat it. But never really got into Dawkins, to be honest with you. Earl for President 2028. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd have every ex-girlfriend on CNN. They'd probably all go on together. Especially the last two. That's $100 to see my feet, Byron. $100. You know, you guys just can't hit me with these wacky demands. And then, you know, you got to show me the money, honey. I mean, I started at 30. I like Warrant, Where the Down Boys Go. I've had Joey Allen, the guitar player from Warrant, on my podcast, Inappropriate Earl. I've had Bobby Brown, the girl in the cherry pie video, on my podcast. So check that out, Inappropriate Earl. You can either look up Joey Allen or Bobby Brown. So, you know, but the Bobby Brown interview is probably the worst one I've ever done. Not so much because she was bad, but she brought her like 21-year-old boyfriend with her. And it's like, you know, I can't ask you how big Dave Navarro's dick was when your boyfriend's right here. Bobby Brown was still hot. Tawny Katane was also on my podcast. I became very good friends with Tawny Katane until she passed. So I miss Tawny a lot. But Bobby Brown held up quite nicely, I must admit. So, and she's pretty cool. It's just, you know, the boyfriend being there kind of, you know, ruined the vibe. Message held for review. Yeah, Tawny was a disaster at the end. I don't think I do, actually, Zani, but she was awesome. Like, we just had a weird relationship where she kind of had a crush on me because I was literally like the only guy in the last probably 10 years of her life who was not just trying to fuck her. And, you know, I was respectful to her and I made her laugh a lot. But you know, couldn't control her demons, I guess. So hopefully she's out of pain and looking down on me going, I miss you, Earl. Because I miss you, Tawny. But, you know, that's a rough world, the 80s rock scene. Whether you're a band member or a video vixen, it's a pretty cutthroat world. Tani needed more than a Mentos. I can assure you of that much. You're 0 for 2, Zani. 0 for 2. You can try one more time, and then you go to timeout land. You can, um, join the others in the timeout land. I mean, in comedy, you either have it or you don't. I don't think you can learn it. I don't think you can teach it. You know, it's like, to put it one way, in the mid 90s, I used to squat probably 600 to 700 pounds. Um, I could lift an incredible amount of weight with my lower body. But for whatever reason, that did not translate, and I had literally zero vertical leap. So it would be a complete waste of my time to, say, take a class on how to slam dunk a basketball because I just couldn't hit the rim. It's the same thing with comedy, to be honest with you. All right, Zani, you're gone. You're so fucking unfunny. I just can't take it. See ya. I mean, I didn't want to do it, but well, your mom was around in the mid 90s. Are you calling her a dinosaur? Jesus. If the trolls come in at late night, we got 2 more minutes, guys, and then I hope I never see some of you losers again. I mean, you guys are unbelievable. It's fucking 6 a.m. and you're trolling in some stranger's stream. Get a life, man. Well, you know, I don't know what to say to that, Uncle Tony. All right, someone's been drinking tonight in the stream. 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's got to be funny, Uncle Tony. It's not humor if it's not funny. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You can do better than that, Uncle Tony. I give everyone 3 chances, and then I got to put them in timeout land. Well, good morning, Tommy. We are about to end the stream in 1 minute, so I appreciate you. But don't worry, when your name's on the wall at the Comedy Store, Uncle Tony, then you can give me advice. When you've been on TV once as a comic, then you can give me advice. When you're mentioned on Joe Rogan's podcast once, I've been mentioned 50 times, then you can give me advice. I appreciate it, but I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure, Mason, in Portland. You are a stream legend, along with Corn Diff and the others. Not really. You're wrong there, but you keep that's said by someone who's not funny enough to be passed there. Don't hate. Don't hate. Come to Eugene, Oregon. It's really not. As someone who's a paid regular there, I did not have to throw at anyone. You're just not good enough to be a comic at the #1 club in the world like I am, the Mothership. I'm passed at every club in New York, and I don't even play New York. And on that note, I'm going to bed. You guys be funnier, or don't. I'm gonna block all of you. Be fun. I'll do a stream to one. I'll do a stream to Corn Diff and Tommy S. Get a life, you losers.